Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a short time ago, this crowd decked out in purple, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room. We're ready for football, folks, as the Vikings get set to do battle with Derek Carr and the Oakland Raiders. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Ready? 44. Bound to lose one. Check 43. Check. Rose. Spoke the mic. Mike spoke both. All day, baby. All day. Watch twist. Check nine. Rhino. Wait, that.
Here's Dalvin Cook, third year back from Florida State. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Leave it, 28. Two.
Cousins. Carrying it out deep for Smith. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
I got you, boy.
To throw, Cousins. He'll dump this off to Cook. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the first down marker. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, Britton Colquitt on to punt. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is taken at the 18. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their own 26. Now the first-round pick from Alabama, Josh Jacobs. Only a couple there as he'll be brought down about the 28.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now Carr. And that is incomplete. That pass just a little bit off. It looked like maybe he tried to force it in there.
Game speed, always different, no matter what you do in practice. Can't simulate it, right? So your decision-making, everything has to be a little bit quicker. Sometimes it can throw you off until you adjust.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Carr. Able to find Waller. That's complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, we spent a lot of time exalting the offensive masterminds in this game, right? They draw up these beautiful plays. They look so perfect up on the board. But occasionally, sometimes you just say, throw it up and let him go get it. How about that play?
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
What's the other do?
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. He's got the first down here inside the 30. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
March 59. March 59. Try to do better.
Carr now on 1st down. That's into the hands of Edwards. Give him 12 yards that time and an Oakland 1st down. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how are you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Josh Jacobs, his 3rd touchdown now on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of the game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for. I remember the first time I saw Dalvin Cook play in college. I was watching him on TV, called a scouting friend of mine and said, who is this guy? He's special. And he said, dude, you're watching a home run hitter on the field.
Yeah, he was special in Tallahassee. Left Florida State their all-time leader in rushing yards and touchdowns.
Hey, zoom.
From the 31, Cousins. And down he goes. Brought down a Raiders sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long.
We want it. Come to my world.
3rd and long for Cousins. Going right side here, and that's complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game, but it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Colquitt on to kick as he sends it away. Fielded just inside the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Our first look at the NFL scoreboard comes from Green Bay. Early lead in that one for the Packers. Remember to keep an eye on the ticker, of course, at the bottom of your screen for updates on that game and others around the NFL. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing, and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Let's get off the field, D. Express. Hey, one set. Check the foot.
Shotgun now for Carr. Wide open receiver complete. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Chill. You want it, eh? It's 59. Mike the 59. Hey, 734.
Carr now on first down. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
Carr completes it. Give him a couple on the catch. It's 2nd and 8.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And little room to maneuver there. He gets it down to about the 39. They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down.
93.
From the gun, it's Carr. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Mark Hughes. And he will be brought down, but he's got the interception on a final play of this first quarter. After 7-0 on EA Sports. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting on third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Hey, let's get that ball, dude. Let's get that ball right here. Quick.
Throwing, Cousins. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
44's the mic. 44's the mic. And come on out here. Come get some.
Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Problems on 3rd down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on 3rd down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to 3rd down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on 1st and 2nd down.
Here's Britton Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. On the ground, it's Jacobs to start the drive. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Second and 9 now from the 21.
I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. You're mine.
Working from the gun, it's Carr. This will be caught. Tyrell Williams. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That one good for 26 and a first down.
First down, Raiders.
Monday, down. 185.
They'll run on first down. Jacobs. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him a first down, 15 yards that time for the Raiders.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, they go with Jacobs again. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Here we go. 29. 54, right there. 54, Mike. Let's get it together.
To throw, it's Carr. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. He'll be brought down on the 30-yard line after a gain of 6. Second year in Oakland for Waller after being signed off the Ravens practice squad, but only 6 catches, 75 yards a season ago. Then he got a lot of hype in the offseason following OTAs. Their offensive coordinators saying, Darren, you have that position. Coach Gruden went as far as to say, Darren, you have the chance of a lifetime here. Well, now it's time for Darren Waller to go out there and prove it. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
I know at times people think we use it too often, but you've got to be able to throw guys open. And when you read zone, you've got to stick it in there before your receiver gets to the next guy in the zone. Otherwise, you bring him into the play.
And that's precisely what allowed that defense to disrupt the pass. Last season for Carlson, bit of a strange rookie year. Won the Vikings job, then was let go week 2 after going 0 for 3, but he picked things back up.
Remember, he was drafted to cure their kicking woes, and he ends up going 0 for 3 against Green Bay, including the potential game winner. Gets cut, picked up by the Raiders, 16 for 17 the rest of the season. I'd say at the end of the year, a pretty good success story.
That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Defenses always talk about earning the right to rush the passer on 3rd down. And you know what offenses want? Win 1st down so they can set things up for themselves better.
And that wasn't helpful there. Not a big impact on 1st down. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Cousins. He's got his man Sharp complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They get 14 there. 1st down, Vikings.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Let's go, D. Big series right. Step it up. 44 is the mic. 40. Bravo.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Cleveland Farrell brings him down, and that's a play he's going to remember. The first sack of his NFL career. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Cousins to throw it. Looking for his tight end Rudolph, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the rookie from Clemson, Trayvon Mullen. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
And 12 at the 41-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Your trip is here.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. On 2nd and 12, Carr. Got his man, that's Tyrell Williams. Williams loses the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And he's able to get it back to the 41-yard line.
We have seen this before, and we know coaches preach about this and work on it all the time. Catch the ball. You know there's going to be some traffic somewhere. They've got to put it away and secure it as they try and get downfield.
What down? 280. Straight on one.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun, Carr. Looking left sideline, it's complete. Then he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. That's on the big guard, Gabe Jackson. Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty.
Mike's 59. Mike's 59.
From the gun, Carr. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Express. Deuce right, Chief. 59. White.
Operating from the gun, Carr. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. An excellent pickup of 20 yards.
And the Raiders first down.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10.
What we got?
From the gun, Carr. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the Pro Bowler, Anthony Barr. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Well, look at the clock here. You're inside of a minute. First half hasn't gone that well for you. How are you going to play this drive?
Well, I've been told by my coaches previously that the intelligent approach, go ahead and run out the clock and start over. Don't make any more mistakes. But there's also something to understanding that you got this last drive here. You get the ball to start the second half. Try and go 2 for 1 here. Get some points now and come out of the locker room and get more points again and get your momentum really built up.
First. 44. Hey, Charlie. 44.
Man out.
Cousins on 1st down. That is caught. It's Tajay Sharp. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime.
1st and 10 at the 45-yard line.
That's right, baby. They don't want it. Leave it. Bring up 48. 44 is the mic. 44 is the mic.
A 1st down throw for Cousins. And the Raiders have got him. Nick Kwiatkowski able to maneuver in for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long.
Get the ball right here. Let's go. Mike 55, Mike 55.
Final play of the half. Cousins finding room inside the 40. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. This will be taken short. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
Let's go.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Raider offense set to get this drive started. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9.
Hey, we're good, we're good. You ready? Screen. Watch the screen. Right Monday down. 36.
6 guys. Check 6 guys.
Express.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. He'll have a first down past the 40. And he'll take it to the 43-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
What down? You ready?
59. Let's go, tight end. Let's go right here now.
Raider 2. Topper! Topper! Monday down.
Check, check, check.
On first down, it's Jacobs. And give him about 5 as he gets this up to the 48-yard line.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5.
Hey, tighten down, tighten down. There you go.
93. 54, right there. 54 Mike. Ripley, hey! Wahoo! 54 Mike, 54 Mike.
Now they'll throw with Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. A big play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, second half, no matter what. Whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger. But no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing. And try and get back to where you were to start the half.
They start the drive with Cook. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3. Cousins. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
SOS.
Hey, we're good.
On third down, Cousins. And that's caught by Smith. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 21 yards there on third down.
And after that completion, you can understand why so many teams in the league are emphasizing speed on defense at every position. The tight ends have created so many tough matchups now. If you can't run with a tight end as a linebacker, this is going to be the result every time.
Cousins, he's going to air one out. And incomplete. An excellent play downfield. Should have been picked off, really. But second down instead. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary, it really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to them.
To throw on second and 10. Cousins, that's complete to Sharp. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28.
That's another Vikings first down.
So here's a first and 10 now in Raider territory as they've got it to the 28-yard line.
44, Mike, 44. Man,
hey, echo.
Fofo's a Mike.
Cousins again. Over the middle, Sharp's got it complete. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. To throw again on second down. Cousins. And Thielen's got it. Touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen. His second touchdown on the season. And the Vikings are able to cut into that deficit. That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. They go for just one here as it's up and good, and that'll cut the lead to 17-7. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Carr and the Raiders come up first and 10 at the 41-yard line. Carr going to give it to Jacobs. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be second and 6.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a second and 6.
White. 7:34.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Down. 180.
Mike 5-4. You don't want none, baby. You don't want to see. Hey, you don't want to see me. You don't want it. Hey, watch it.
25. Check 25. Check 25.
Pilot, 64, weak.
Tight go.
Lie down. Hey, 7:34.
Carr to throw on second down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Here we go.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Here's Jacobs. And some room to maneuver. 20. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. A big pickup of 38. He had his eyes on the end zone once he hit the secondary, but they're finally able to slow him down.
Yeah, and I've got to look at this one from the defensive point of view. You just mentioned finally able to slow him down. They've got to figure out a way to make that at the point of attack, at the line of scrimmage, because once he gets through, he's shredding them.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Anthony Zettel popping in for the sack.
Well, that was point counterpoint, wasn't it? They decided to throw for it on 1st and goal. Instead, the defense counters with pressure, and the defense wins, getting a big sack.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. On 2nd down, Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Only a yard there, and that'll bring us to 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. It's the Raiders with the lead and the football here as we get ready to start quarter number 4. The holding penalty, that puts them in an unenviable spot here as they try again on 3rd and goal.
He's low. Switch it. Come on, switch it.
Dude.
Shotgun now for Carr. And he's going to be taken down here. A sack back at the 32. The defensive end, Daniil Hunter, drops him.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. And that's exactly what happened on that play.
And this one is right down the middle. And that will open the lead up now to 20-7. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Kirk Cousins last year started all 16 games but only led the Vikes to just one fourth-quarter comeback like he's trying to do here. On 2nd and 12, Cousins, he sets to fire deep. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield.
Mike, 44.
Hey, Alpha.
Bobo's and Mike. Mike's Bobo.
To throw is Cousins. And Rudolph has it, the tight end. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
To throw, Cousins. And this one hauled in by Rudolph. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down.
1st and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Cousins now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
Hey, exit.
They'll throw again. Cousins. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. On 2nd and 10, Cousins. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Again, it's Cousins. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now Cousins on 4th down. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position. They'll run on 1st down. Jacobs. Ben Gideon in on the stop. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. The pickup goes for 16 and a Raider 1st down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Jacobs now down to the 6-yard line on a pickup of 6 as he gets halfway to the goal line. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
Running is Jacobs. And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
The Raiders on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 2. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And this is going to result in losing yardage. They're driven back to the 8-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4.
And Anthony Barr just has it all as far as I'm concerned in terms of physique, athletic ability, and now he's versatile as well. When he came out of UCLA, he played outside linebacker, but also down defensive end. The Vikings can utilize those same sort of skills.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. They've got a fourth down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will swell the lead to 16. So he remains perfect, 3 for 3 in the field goal department.
And it's so important for any offense to have an ace like him up their sleeve, isn't it? Because now you know what his range is, and as soon as your offense gets there, you're pretty much counting on 3 points going up on the board.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Tajay Sharp, the intended target, and it's third down.
For the high.
44. Watch the run. Watch the run.
Working out of the gun, Cousins. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on fourth down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Throwing, Cousins, and they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and the Raiders with the football now in excellent field position.
Mike. Down. 185.
Come on now. Come on now. Slip.
On first down, it's Jacobs. This will be a short gain of 3 before he's brought down at the 22. A gain of 3, second down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7.
You're not well. Go. Watch the twist. Watch the twist.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's taken down after a gain of 3 as they move it from the 22 to the 19.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
On third down, here comes Jacobs. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
So this one, a victory for the Oakland Raiders, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that fourth quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the fourth quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So for the Raiders, they're into the win column now as they move to 1-2 on the young season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Indianapolis Colts. Meanwhile, for Minnesota, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll try